faccia bere.
So tonight we are at Vitigno Italia. Vitigno Italia means Italian vineyard. I'm here with Antonio, one of the master cheese tasters of Onaf, the National Organization of Cheese Tasters of Italy. And we'll be sampling lots of cheeses, but most importantly, lots of wines. The place is obviously Castel Dell'Ovo, the egg castle of Naples, and it looks exactly like a wine cellar. The first wine tasting of the night is from Cantina Rivolta, and it's a rosato, so a rosé wine derived from Aglianico grapes, and it's 2 years old. It's one of the very few vintage rosés of Italy. Very, very nice to start the evening with. Thank you so much. Antonio's expert advice is don't have pizza with beer, because you would be taking in too much yeast and you'd feel bloated. Drink this wonderful Gragnano instead. This is Region Campania's stand, and it's a treasure trove of wines. The sponsor for today's cheese tasting is a shop called Sogni di Latte. Sogni di Latte means dreams made of milk, and it's basically a cheesemonger's shop. So there was a presentation of Sogni di Latte, this project that has been going on for 4 years. And the idea is to present rare cheeses that would be seldom found on the market to people, and make them accessible. So not treat them like boutique cheeses, which would be far too expensive for people to taste, but make them available and popular for everyone to love. The cheeses we are going to be tasting are Parmesan, so a special Parmesan made from only Bruna's cow's milk, so the darker cow strain, that offer quite balanced production of fats and protein. Aged 30 months, and this is, I believe, a quarter of a wheel of Parmesan. Compté, the famous French cheese. The Compté is also quite special, because French people usually consume it as a table cheese with only 3 months of aging. But this piece here has been aged 3 years. Blu di Bufala, which is not a traditional cheese, strictly speaking, but a newly invented blue from region Lombardy, Bergamo. This cheese was enormously successful a year and a half ago at the World Cheese Awards, and it won second prize, fighting with over 3,000 cheeses from all over the world. Where the Parmesan and the Compté are round in shape, the blue is square in shape. It's quite tall. You can see the molds inside the cheese. And I can't wait to taste it. I'm very curious. Here we have, last but not least, one of the gems of region Campania, one of the very finest cheeses. This is none other than Carmasciano, a sheep's milk cheese from around Avellino, the small town of Carmasciano. This cheese has a distinctive taste because it's produced by a strain of sheep called Laticauda, which means fat-tailed sheep. And they graze in pastures that are nearby volcanic waters, thereby acquiring a sulfurous-like taste. This is the breaking of the shape of the Parmesan, so always fascinating to watch. So here we have the president of the production of Carmasciano, and he gave some suggestions to match up the Carmasciano with some wines. He suggested Blanc de Blanc Champagne. I'm here with Giuseppe Moscillo, so he is the president of the consortium that produces Carmasciano in the province of Avellino, and he was very kind enough to explain the main features of his cheese. He said that he is a very balanced person, and so he doesn't want his cheese to be spiky in any way, to go in any particular direction. He wants the taste of the cheese to be rounded, and his cheese is well grounded in tradition, but he brought the family tradition into modern times, creating a modern dairy, so something that is economically feasible and sustainable. Giuseppe just pointed out a few things of the way he raises his animals and the way he feeds them. So many producers of cheeses use the whey from breaking up the curdled milk, and what is left of the producer of the ricotta to feed the animals again. So a friend of mine, another producer, uses this technique to give the animals more protein, but according to Giuseppe, it's a little bit like favoring cannibalism. You're feeding the animals their own milk. So instead of wasting the whey coming out of the cheese production, what he does is keep 3, 4, or 5 pigs, which he raises personally and has for personal consumption. So he feeds the pigs the leftovers of the milk of the sheep, and that's how he recycles everything in a sustainable way. So anytime you have the pleasure of eating Carmasciano, think of all the work and the effort that Giuseppe put into it.
Okay.
So the Parmesan was quite rounded and well balanced, not a great presence of crystals, and I would say not the greatest aromatic complexity. Having tasted it, the Compté, on the other hand, was outstanding. You could smell hazelnuts and notes of leather in it, and the texture of the cheese was really special, with excellent solubility. Carmasciano is a gem at all times, so you could really feel the sulfurous pastures and notes of tropical fruits as well as toasted fruit. The blue felt especially refreshing. The name of this cheese is actually Surfing Blue because it was dipped in a beer called Surfers. So it's the Surfing Blue. And because of this blend with the beer, it was not as pungent and salty as other blue cheeses. So overall, a little bit more mild than other blues. We just had expert advice on what wines to go taste. So the advice was Cantine Terlan at the bottom floor. Thank you so much. This is obviously a win-win location because any wine you taste by the sea and with this view is going to seem absolutely breathtaking and wonderful. So Vitigno Italia is at an end, it's finished, and we're saying goodbye from Sogni di Latte, Milky Dreams, and we're going back home. Everyone is happy. Goodbye, see you next time.